This is the Optimal Wellness Podcast, helping you achieve optimal wellness naturally, with your host, Dr. Clifford Fetters of Health and Wellness of Carmel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Optimal Wellness Podcast. I'm Dr. Fetters, and with me, Dr. Jerry Weber.
Hello there. Glad to be here. Thank you.
So Dr. Weber is a naturopath. Many people don't know what that is. I will tell you our story, but first tell us just a little bit about you and what naturopathy is.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Yes, I'm Dr. Jerry Weber, and I have been working here at Health and Wellness with this man for over 11 years now. And a naturopath is not a medical doctor like this man. We are basically another part of alternative medicine or health. We look at the body as the body wants to heal naturally. It can heal naturally, and that's what we do in all the natural health kind of modalities.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, why don't you tell them our story?
Right. So,
it's a good one.
So I've been practicing medicine since 1985, graduated from med school. In 88, I started traditional medicine. Within 1 year, I became sick, refused to take regular medical treatment. And luckily, my mother was into natural health, and she told me who to talk to, and life was grand after that. So, I was practicing for probably 25 years, and I would tell people 90% of the time, I can get people at least 9% better. But over maybe a 5-year span, people come back apologetically. Well, Dr. Ferris, you said I was at 5%. So I saw Dr. Weber says I've got 5% this and 10% this wrong, and my spleen is this, and there's a germ in this, and but he did this, and I'm all better. So I heard that story maybe 5, 6, 7 times, and I said, okay, maybe this 7th time it's like I could be this guy. So actually I became his patient. So I became a patient. I think I told you I was a doctor right away, but I didn't tell him I was checking him out. So I just had him check me out.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was working in this little hole in the wall.
Yeah, I know. So he and was that 30-minute or an hour appointment?
I think it was a 30-minute appointment.
In 30 minutes, he told me everything about myself, my allergies, my sinus, my food allergies. It's like, he just nailed everything. It's like, wow, this guy, he just can't make that up, because I'm a doctor that practices what he preaches. So I've done every blood test. I know everything about me. So I did come back for the second visit and just to talk, and we spoke again, just to make sure I have the right vibe. And I said, so I just looked, I go, what the hell are you doing in this little, he was working with a chiropractor, and they didn't have extra room for it. So basically it looked like it was a closet. I said, yeah, work for me. And I said, okay, I'm building a new office. And I said, you can pick any place, any of the offices you want. And so he picked the one with the best windows, and it was...
Yeah, I had three things. He said, okay, what do you have to come and work with me? I said, well, here they go. I need a room with a window.
That's right.
I need a water fountain, and I don't want any medical equipment in my room.
And that was very, very, very little.
That was it.
That was nothing.
We didn't talk about money. We didn't talk about anything. We just did it that way, and we're still here.
Okay, so pretty much everyone knows when they see me, it's similar to when I practice traditional medicine. As you know, I'm an integrative doctor, so sometimes people come with some blood pressure sky high, and I treat them acutely. Healthcare America is amazing. Emergency care, our surgeons, our specialists. I refer to them all the time. The irony is, I think most doctors, even my cancer doctors now, embrace me, because for any one time I tell them, a patient, not to see them for whatever reason, I refer 10 people to them, because they've got the nuclear weapons. If you're really in trouble, they can stop cancer on a dime. And with the new therapeutics, it's really powerful. But then just when I go to the treatment, if you have really serious problems, I will use prescription drugs. But ultimately, the goal is optimal wellness naturally and without prescription drugs. So I still we share so many patients in our practice,
right.
And when I'm stumped, I still send them to you, which I appreciate, because otherwise, who else can I send to? So just tell us the difference. So when they see you,
right.
And quite still, I muscle test all my patients, but still maybe even talk about not even all naturopaths use muscles. What percent do you think does?
Well,
small percent, right?
It is a small percent. I always say there's, in muscle testing, which we haven't talked about too much yet, but all muscle testers are not created equal.
Okay.
That's number one. Okay. That's a number one thing there, is just because people say, well, I can muscle test, that doesn't mean a lot yet.
Okay.
What you need to know is the body, you know the anatomy and the physiology, and that's what we do. But here's what I'd like to explain to our viewers today. You are what we call a macro. Okay, you're the macro man. Okay,
Right.
You're going to be looking at the blood, and there's nobody any better. Okay, you are the number one to look at that blood and say, look, here's what's going on, and you have great treatments for that. Okay, but there's also a lot of things that I don't look at that you're looking at.
Right.
Okay, and then there's a lot of things I'm looking at that you're not looking at. And so putting these two together, and that's what our dream was. Our dream was natural health combined with the medical knowledge, and put those together as a family, as a marriage. That's what we have here at Health and Wellness.
Right.
I mean, it's beautiful because number one, you don't have an ego. I mean, you do, but it's in your pocket.
Right. That's the plan.
I mean, so there's a lot of people who would say, hey, go over to this guy because I can't figure it out. Okay. But you're looking at the client. You're looking at that person. You're looking at that soul.
Okay. Right.
And that's one of the other things I want to state. And I know you don't mind because you never have, but we both work with God. And that's another major thing that we do here that a lot of people don't do. Okay, that's where we're at. We don't mess around with it. We're right here. We know where we're at, and that's what makes our whole practice the best.
So everyone knows what they see me. So when they see a naturopath, I know. So you read energy, read their body, read their expression, but you don't physically touch other than touch huggy. I know you're more of a hugger than me, and I'm working on that. But you don't do a physical exam, but instead tell them how you evaluate and read people and what to expect when they walk in the door to see Jerry Weber. Just briefly, what
I always say, when you come into my room, you'll never leave the same. Okay, and the reason for that is I'm so different of what people do, and I appreciate again him letting me do that. Is when you walk in here into our room or anywhere, your body is talking all the time. Your body knows everything about you. Okay, because we don't run our own bodies.
Right.
We've studied the body a long time, and we still couldn't run our body for 5 minutes.
Right.
Okay, so there's this innate intelligence there, and it knows everything about you, everything. So through muscle testing, which we now call energetic testing, because we don't want people to think it's a strength test. It is a resistance test, and your body will know it's just truth or false. It's like a lie detector test for the body. So when they come in, I ask them about what 3 symptoms they have that they would like for me to address. Then I just basically ask questions to the body, and I test whether it's true or false.
Right.
Once it's false, we know it's something wrong, and we fix it naturally.
Okay, so all muscle testers have found a way, true or false, and that's all it is. And so long as we're working for the good of the client and not what the stock market is going to do tomorrow.
No.
And with us, once you master it, you with your fingers. So when my hand is strong, I tell the truth. I love God. I'm strong. And if I say I love evil, false. I mean, it's just true or false. And I've said at a conference recently, a woman, she was a true empath, and I taught her, she didn't understand it. I said, I can teach in 30 seconds. And I just said, a strong emotion, true. And that was, God versus evil. And she, oh my gosh, I'm so weak when I say something false. And okay, so you need to know, like Dr. Weber's a master, knowing every organ system, the intricate detail, every cell in the body. And he was like, I'm a macro guy. He loves the micro detail. And that's what makes you special, and your book is special, but just knowing every body system to the cellular level and even sub-level and even maybe atomic level.
Yeah, we're going deeper.
And
it's all about frequencies now. We're working on frequencies. And, the good news is if the problem is in what organ, we can find it, what system, what tissue, what even cell. And that's tremendous because we have great blood tests, but this even helps more. So really, I think the most complete program a person could be is taking both and seeing those blood tests and then also seeing what we can do in the energetic area to help with that blood test as well.
Okay, so I use, sometimes prescription drugs, mostly vitamins and nutrients and substances. But what are your major tools that you use other than just I know how you diagnostically find people. Oh, another thing to mention, you find out the root cause, often germs, parasites, toxins, from the environment, from heavy metals, and you can get those out too. So what is your armamentarium?
Well, we have a book out called You Can Heal Naturally. And in that book, it basically talks about all the toxins and parasites and all this that we're talking about. So we look at when there's something wrong with the body, it's usually about 5 different things. It's either a toxin, as you mentioned, parasite, tissue damage, nutritional deficiency, or emotional. And so what we have to do is look at which one it is. And then if it is a parasite, we have a complete parasite program to take out the parasite. If it's a toxin, we know how to remove those toxins.
I'm glad you said emotions because, I treat cancer. Our goal is, number one, optimal wellness for everyone, but also for people with chronic degenerative diseases. That's the main thing in holistic health, is to reverse them, not to treat them, put you on drugs forever, to reverse that. And the number one cause of chronic degenerative diseases and all serious conditions is
emotions.
And his mastery is emotional release.
Yes, Dr. Bradley Nelson got started with the emotion code, God bless him. But he also said there's more to it, and we have done that. We have a quicker way of doing it. We can release a lot more emotions. And then also we have the EVOX.
Yeah.
So what I do is I work with them together because, I do a pretty good job, but a lot of times there's so many emotions underneath that we need to bring to the surface. EVOX does a great job of that.
So many people already have a therapist. So if they have a therapist, can they still see you and have an emotional release?
Absolutely, because it's completely different. Most of the time in a therapist, they're talking. It's a talk thing. We don't do talking. We just release the energy, because all trapped emotions, think of it just as a dark ball of stuck energy.
Yeah.
So everything, remember, is frequency. So if we can go in and think about this as darkness in the body, if we put light in, okay, it's like going into a room. If it's a dark room, all you have to do is flip the light on.
Yeah.
The darkness is gone.
Right.
Where did it go? All right. That's what trapped emotion is. So what we do is we use 5 magic words. And I've actually got rid of 50 different trapped emotions just in one session.
Wow.
Love.
Right.
The Beatles had it right.
Trust.
Good job.
Yeah, I've keep going. Go.
Love, trust, forgiveness, gratitude,
right, and joy.
Peace and joy. Good job.
It is amazing. And so actually we had a teaching session with him and his son Michael, and he just did emotional release, like the 3-minute one. I know you could do it fast. I know actually in between patients, sometimes I have people in crisis, and this man brought, and literally I could have to send people to the hospital, and you in 5 minutes have released people that they literally was emotional trauma. But just so as a doctor, it's like, when forgiveness always has to be in the middle, because that's the hardest thing for people to do. Joy every day. I'm the master of procrastination. I have the very patience, but you have to have joy to match.
I have a good advice for you. Procrastinating.
Yeah.
Procrastinating.
Yeah.
Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Stop thinking about, hey, that symptom's going to go away. It's not.
Yeah.
Your body is talking to you. Okay. If you have a pain, that's not how God made you. Okay. So when you have a symptom or a pain or whatever, we're here to help you, plus the rest of our staff. So, and energy is everything. Everything is energy. And that's what we specialize in, is energy.
Since you brought that up, probably one of the hardest things we see, particularly when I have a husband and wife or a couple, I usually find that, but sometimes I miss this. If you are on message boards, if you have Lyme disease or any chronic degenerative disease, and you're on message boards 8 hours a day, you become the disease and you will not heal. So if you need you need to find a practitioner. That's my job. Is I spend countless hours. That's all I do. So if you can find a practitioner you trust, you need to let go. Because you need to let go of the disease. And it's horrible when I've been with someone 6 months and then the husband comes in. Did you know she's on the message boards for 6-8 hours a day?
Yeah.
And if you hold on that disease, you become the disease.
You are what you focus upon. That's the law of attraction.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay? It's a universal law, just like gravity. Whether you believe in it, whether you don't believe in it, it's going to work. So if you're sitting there trying to get rid of high blood pressure, you're trying to get rid of cancer, you're trying to, and you, like he's saying, on the boards and trying to figure all this out, what are you focused on? You're focused on the disease.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is you got to learn how to look at, and then start focusing on health. Start reading and listening and thinking about health. Okay, health is wealth. Okay, there's nothing more important.
Yeah.
And that's why we do what we do.
Yeah. And I don't do much marriage counseling, but I've heard sometimes I don't have a choice. And what I've learned from we have many therapists that are patients who I love. I pick their brains. I learned a lot of psychology from my psychologist patients. And so when someone has broken the trust in the relationship, and the other person can't let go, you know what you do? You fake it. You fake like you love them and you care about them, and just by faking it, you eventually do it. Just like you taught me to fake. I had to fake so true, false. It took me a while to get it. Then you just fake it, okay, and then suddenly, boom! Once you get the energy testing done, it never goes away. But sometimes you have to just fake it and push on. And you're in your faith that God loves you and cares about you, and He has a purpose and plan that's more important than what you can ever imagine. So just that faith, giving it up to someone else, and same thing, giving it up to God. Yeah, giving it up to God.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the reasons people don't heal is ego.
Yeah,
they're scared. They have fear because they're trying to hold on to it. And it's kind of like the story about the guy that, real quick, that had the flood. And basically, they brought the boat by, and he said, "No, God's going to save me. No, the water goes higher and goes up on the roof. Helicopter comes by. No, God's going to save me." After he passes, he goes up to God and says, "Why didn't you save me?" He says, "My God, I sent a boat and a helicopter both." Okay, so what you got to do is you got to basically come in and let us help.
Yeah,
because it's not going to get better. And get away from the fear. Fear is false expectations appearing real. So instead of looking ahead and looking at what you want, which is health, you're looking ahead and fearing death or disease. Mm-hmm. Once I tell people, once you're not afraid of death, you can't really be afraid of anything else.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, every day there's good. Sometimes there's work and sometimes there's pain, but eventually, the clouds go away, the sun comes out, and there's the rainbow, and you're a better person after the storm.
We always learn through our hardships.
Exactly.
We never learn from our easy. When we're coasting, there's nothing there to learn. But when we're struggling and when we're there, we're learning, and that's what disease is. Disease is dis-ease.
Okay.
Dis-ease is because you have too much stress in your body. And why? Why is that stress there? Because, I hear people talk about God and how they believe in God. Then if you believe in God, where's the stress come from? Allow.
Your mind, yeah.
Okay? Yeah, stress is an inside job. It's all it is an inside job. It's how we're thinking about something. One day, one person will say, I said, "How was your day today?" "Oh, my day was pure hell."
Yeah.
Okay, you go to the next person, they go, "Oh, today was pure heaven." Same 24 hours.
Yeah, right.
Same day,
It's your perception.
same sun, same everything. So, just basically start thinking and focusing on health and find the right people to help you with that. Like he was saying, just where you're comfortable at.
And lastly, as you know, we're about the same age. So we're the children of the 60s and 70s. And many people say the best time to grow up ever because peace, love, and understanding. And right now the world is the exact opposite of that.
Yes.
The difference between the politics, one party and the other, was minuscule. Now it's extreme. Social media is extreme. The news is extreme. Now there's wars all around the world and threats all around. I remember when we ended the nuclear threat, and now it's more than ever since we ended the nuclear threat many, many years ago. So in a nutshell, what can you tell the people listening that still are worried about this crazy world and it's actually keeping them from sleeping at night? So what would you tell them?
Okay. You're okay. You're safe. Okay. But here's how you have to do it. If you look at the external world, it's going to scare you. But if you go to the internal world and go into more meditation and more prayer, this is where you're going to find out the answers, because you can't control all the other things, but you can control your inner self.
And the ones you love, your inner circle, that if you have this peaceful core of love and understanding among your people and your group, then that's what you can change. You can't change the world. You can't change what's going on in China.
Not at all.
But as long as you control your little, if everyone can do that, the world will be
Turn the TV off,
place.
Get away from the news.
How many minutes should be you on your smartphone looking at Instagram and Facebook?
Not very much.
Okay, yeah.
Take a look at my phone. You won't see much there.
Yeah.
No, I work more inside. I work more in my mind.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I've been in the mind, like a mind gym, for the last 40 years.
Okay. Well, Joe, you make my life better, easier. You know, you reduce my stress, my people that I can't get back, but my most traumatized people, I just say, see Jerry, and you work them in between patients on your time off. You come in on the phone. Oh, I guess I can say this. Do you give your phone number to every one of your patients?
I do.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? That's what he's there for. You know, but he's there, and it's you know, we can tell other stories that someone that's so mean and rude to you, and now he calls, I think, every day. But you are a crutch, and you can help people at any time. And I think probably they won't call you that much because they know that you're always available, so they can usually wait because they know you'll be there. Yeah. So I appreciate all that you do for me and our practice and all my staff. Yeah, it's been great.
Good. Well, I'd like to end it then with thanking you. And the reason for that is, if I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing, without your open-mindedness of taking this crazy guy and helping me grow. And we've traveled together. We're friends. We're just, we're business-wise, we're married to help people, and we've done it thousands and thousands and thousands of times.
All right. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you. Take care.
And thank you very much, and look forward to the next podcast.
Thanks, everybody. Take care. God bless.
And health is wealth.
May you prosper.
Thank you for listening to the Optimal Wellness Podcast. Subscribe now to get monthly episodes to help you achieve your wellness goals. And if you'd like to learn how we can help, schedule an appointment at Health and Wellness of Carmel today. Just go to HWOFC.com or call 317-663-7123.